Welcome back to the channel. My name's Prem. This is part 7. So it's been a couple of weeks since part 6. So today we're going to start reassembling the engine bay. So you saw last time it's been painted. The paint's now cured. It's fully hardened almost. So now we can start fitting all the bits back what we removed a couple of weeks ago. Also today I'll be start refurbishing, restoring individual items, parts. So we'll do some of that. We'll get that fitted and trying to get this thing ready for engine gearbox refit. We're coming to the point of the project where there's lots of little things to do and these are time consuming. So I've got to clean up the fuel distributor body, so it goes there, clean all this up, reassemble, fit the distributor back on, and then I can ship it off for calibration. So that needs cleaning. Next, you've got the fuel lines, which I've already gone over with a wire brush. These are rusted. So I think I'll go over one more time and then I'm going to attempt to zinc plate it. I've been putting this off for ages. It's not something I enjoy. And also in these packs you've got throttle body that needs cleaning, other bits, linkages for the throttle. You've seen how many links there was on top. That all needs cleaning. There's a couple of plates in there, long bolts, which I think I'll zinc plate, make them look nice. This is the bracket for the ABS pump module. There you can see the Mercedes star right through there. So this has been sandblasted, and I've given it a coat of zinc primer, and this, what you can see, is a galvanized paint. So that's one coat in, and it looks quite nice. So I'll continue with that one. This is the mounting, the back mounting for the gearbox. Again, I got it shot blasted, and it's come out really nice, and therefore it's had its first coat of zinc primer, and obviously I'll take this back to a satin black so it doesn't rust. Lots of little things to do. Next candidate up for cleaning is the brake booster. So surface rust, sort of everywhere. Lots of it. So what I want to do, I don't want to damage the material or take chunks out of it. So we are going to clean it with a, what I call, well, I think what it's called is a universal pad. So that's what it looks like. It's sort of a kind of resin based material. It's got sort of like strands in there, and this is how it looks like when it's worn out. But the beauty of this is it won't take the metal off. It won't cut metal, but it'll take all this grub, rust. It'll take all this off. So let me take this outside, because I'm not doing this inside. It's be dust flying everywhere. In a flash, you'll see it clean, and just like that, it's clean. Well, I've got all the old paint, the rust, so we're down to bare metal, and you can sort of see the pitting, and you probably got a bit of rust in there, which now can be stabilized. If you had like layers of rust on there that you couldn't see the metal like you see it now, then that would start rusting again in the near future. So front's done all the edges, done the back. It was pretty bad around here, but again, I can stabilize now with the rust removing gel. So that's the next stage, is get these little edges where I couldn't get the drill in, can't get the wire brush in there. So I'll do that by hand, then treat all of these bits with gel, and then paint, and I'll be ready to installation again. By the way, another piece finished. Got the power steering pump pulley. So the back's fine. I didn't want to take the old paint off because there's no rust there. The front was rusted, so again, it's all been cleaned off. And look at this. I think this is overkill. You can see they put the part number on here 4 times, just so you don't forget what the part number is. There you go. Oh, well, yeah. Right, back in the engine bay. It's been a couple of weeks, so this has, I'm hoping, fully cured now. So it's not leaving any finger marks. I'll press down on the lacquer. So we're going to start putting this back together now because I need to get this done before we put the engine and gearbox in. And all this pipes and cables back down. Obviously, I'll clean them first. I'm not going to put them in like this. But yeah, let's start assembling this. You got that. You got this side, and obviously the brake booster is going to be painted soon, so that'll go in there. And then you got your gear. You got your steering box, which goes here. 3 bolts. That'll get tied up again. And a couple of hours later, we have a finished article. So you can see you still got the pitting. I can't get rid of that. I'd have to sit down here, use a filler, smooth it down. I'm not going to do that. So it's got a bit of age look, but the main thing is the rust is treated. It's got 2 coats of zinc primer. It's got 2 coats of top coat, and there we go. All done. I've managed to get all the wiring looms back in, started fitting all these bits in. Take that out. ABS pump is in place, all the wiring's back on. HG leads, I've taken all the wires and I've connected all those up to now. That fits quite nicely where it originally supposed to sit. So along the back and battery tray, I've painted the anti-roll bar. There is the newly painted refurbished brake booster. I've also put the steering box in, so that's done. All the wiring's probably pulled back into its correct place, so these just resting down for the meantime until we get the engine in. So then the accelerator cable, your alternator connector. So yeah, it's very basic. It's not much here, but next thing you want to do now is connect up the brake reservoir, master cylinder, and then start putting the pipes back in up to this unit. So I'm going to use some of the old ones that are not corroded, so I'm not throwing those away. So that's the next process I'll show you, is how to form and flare brake lines. I've got a couple of really cool tools actually straighten the pipes out beforehand, so that is what I really want to show you next. Creating brake lines. Now, you normally get the copper brake line in a roll, which is not then therefore straight. People just tend to straighten them out as much as possible and then fit them as was what they need. It doesn't look that great. So using basic tools, so a pipe bender. This is key, I think, for really good quality work. This is the pipe straightener, and it's this one here. That one. I found this at a motor show a couple of years ago. So pipe goes there, it comes out arrow straight, and then obviously you've got your a decent cutter, and then your flaring bits and bobs which are here, there. So just to prove a point, I will use an old piece. Well, not an old piece. It's a piece that came off this car whilst trying to get it moved. I needed some brakes to stop it, so I put a piece of pipe on there just so the front brakes would work. And I've got that piece off. It's very long. It will fit. It will go to the right side. So let me put you on the stand and I'll show you the magic of this one here. Well, this is the piece of pipe I mentioned. As you can see, it's got lots of lovely bends in there, and we'll see what we can do with this. So first is, let's chop this end off so I'll get the grommet out. The grommet goes back in the car. Also, you got, and this is new kit. It's not old. This is where the car was standing for a number of years. I started dismantling, but then I had to stop. But then I needed brakes to actually get it back out. So we had to sort of make sure we would stop before we got into the trailer. That's off. Now comes a grommet. The other side that's fairly well formed actually. We'll keep that. But then I'll straighten this out all the way across. Let's get this masking tape off. Right, here we go. So you feed it in. It has to be sort of straight. Okay. I think 2 passes will get this done. Just trying to get as straight as possible. Right. So there we go. What do you think? I think that's pretty good. That's about as straight as you're going to get it. And don't forget, this is in pretty manky condition when we started just a couple of minutes ago. But now, that's pretty straight. Took what, 30 seconds? So what we're going to do now, I'll use this end of the wheel arch. So I'll put the grommet back through here that way. We'll bend it all the way around, and then we'll form that side for the ABS pump. But look at that. That's going to look nice. Okay, so the pipe's in. I've measured the length. It reaches down. It's a good length. So we're going to start bending it sort of this way to follow these original ones, and then get it in top. There's a hole in this grommet here, so it runs across the top here, and then back up to here, and then obviously back that way. So I think I'm going to start doing this by hand. I'll put you up on the camera. I'm not sure what you can be able to see, but I think because the pipe's pretty straight now, I do have these small bender. This one here, this is handy, but I think most of this can be done by hand because copper's quite pliable. Start bending it that way, backwards. Second one here. Try and imagine doing this with the engine in. Having the engine out, there's so many jobs you can do easy, quicker, much easier. Expand it out to there. So bent it all the way around, fold it up here, It's just, I'll do that a bit later on, but now it goes into this one here, rects, links. So aim for that one. So outwards and then in. So let me bend that and I'll show you. Then obviously we get on to cutting it to length and then obviously flaring it. Good news, the pipe fits. I knew it fits. Right, so as this is right, front right, so this will go into this terminal here, rects. So we got to flare the edge, flare the end now. So create little bubbles. So when he goes in, when he tightens up, boom, there's a seal there, an oil or brake oil light tight seal. So make sure you put your hardener on first. If you don't, you'll be chopping that off and starting again. Then you need the flaring die, I would call. So that goes in the pipe. Obviously, there's a bit hollow in there, so whatever it crushes against, that is what creates the flare. So you see that is free. So take that out. So what you need to do, you need to clamp the pipe because we don't want the pipe to move when we're forcing it. There we go. Now, how much you keep sticking out is the amount you're going to flare. About 4 mil, I think. Let's try 4 mil. I've got a bit extra on this. If I get it wrong, then you'll catch it on camera, and we'll start again because there's extra in there. That's not really a problem. Right. So you got this clamp now down. Little die goes into the pipe. Now you need something to squash it with. Here it is, your clamp. So this goes across the back. Just make sure you wind it out enough. It goes like that. Just there you go. That's better. So that goes on, and then you start tightening it. So make sure this is at 90 degrees to the clamp. If it isn't, you'll get a bent bubble or you get a lopsided one. So that is square with the pipe. I'm going to now slowly start winding this up. Right, that's now crushed. Take it off. Unclamp the pipe. And there we have it. One flare. Obviously when that goes in, the fitting here will straighten that out and crush it and make sure it doesn't leak. But yeah, one down, one to go at this point anyway. There we go. So all the pipes are connected now. So that's your rear. It's only one pipe that goes to the rear, by the way. It's got one ABS sensor at the back, one pipe which is then distributed both sides. There's two new front ones, and these are to the pressure that comes from the master cylinder. So all the pipes have been formed. I've tied these up so they don't move. They've all been formed through. It's quite nice when the pipe's straight. You get nice insulation. There you go. That one's down. That's in. The left side, I can't obviously get to the wheel to bleed it. So what I've done, I've actually crushed the end of the pipe. I've left about 7-8 inches free, so there's more than enough to actually measure up and create the flare. I'm going to end part 7 here. Slightly shorter video than usual, which I'm sure you're happy with. So we've done all the fittings. all the cables come back down. We've reconditioned certain bits, restored certain parts like a brake booster, little plates, steering box. We've got all the wiring back in, tidy as possible. I didn't want to take any of this, didn't want to cut or replace this. This is the original wiring, so we keep the original. Brakes are back in, pipes are done. Obviously, you've seen the paintwork's been finished. We're ready now for engine and gearbox install. I'm waiting on a couple of bits. I'm not going to wait any longer now. I'm just going to get those units back in. It's been out for months. If I don't do it, we're not making any progress. So part 8 is going to be about engine and gearbox refit. But I hope you liked this one. You can see how all taken apart and then put back together. So hope you like this one. If you have, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in part 8.